Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Show Thoughts Podcast. I, of course, am the Big Show. No, I do not have Sam. No, I do not have Eric. I have the wonderful Kimberly Isham with me from Vine today. I've been
Hi.
trying to get this woman on this show for a while now. Our schedules have been conflicting. Of course, the woman works crazy hours and she's on the West Coast. What the fuck you want me to do? So, thanks, Kim, for being on my show.
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
So, we were sitting there talking offline about some things and whatnot. And how long ago was Vine?
Dang, that was,
You think like 2009, 2010?
yeah, because I go back to like when my first son was born in 2005, Bella was born in 2010, and that was around the time that I started getting into all of it,
Right.
dabbling. Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I still
Bastards.
like, but it's not the same at all.
No, it doesn't. I don't think it has the wholesomeness as Vine did. Like, you know what I mean? Now the world is ran by TikTok and
Yes,
Reels and whatnot. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, bitch, we started that.
I know, we did. We're the
Yeah.
OGs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. It's like we walked so y'all could run. Like
exactly.
so,
100%.
but yeah, I was sitting there was like, damn, I thought like it seems like I've known you way longer
I know.
than since like 2009, 2010.
Yeah, it was funny because I was literally just talking to my kids today about like how you and I first met. And it was like I was going through a rough time with the kids' dad, you know, and you were pretty popular on Vine. So I was intimidated when I started following you. Look at you getting all red.
Because I'm like, she ain't lying.
Like I started following you, and then when we started talking back and forth, I was like, okay, like I need to like, you know, just I'm a little starstruck
Simmer
here.
down. I gotta simmer the fuck down.
And I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe that he messaged me. But you are one of the people that helped me through like a really rocky time in my life. Um, Ever since then, you've seen it all. We have each other's numbers, we text on a regular basis. Um, if we don't text on a regular basis, it's like we whenever we do end up catching up, it's like there was no gap in between. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like it's like
So
we literally pick right up where we left off and like where we
exactly.
were what we were talking about.
Hmm.
And it's crazy. A couple people, because I still like I'm sure you do. And like I was saying, this was like an experimental with a Vine person
Hmm.
because like other Vine people wanted to be on the show, but I was like, I wanted to start it like with you because I don't like you and I could talk, we could be here for more than an hour.
Oh yeah.
So my thing was like, I really kind of want to start this off with Kim.
Hmm.
And I've got it where people are like, I can't believe Xander's graduating high school. No shit. But in the same sense that I think about from Vine until now, and I'm like, y'all really watched my son grow up.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know, it was amazing. Like the amount of support for like him having autism, and then you find out
Hmm.
other people's kids have it and you
Hmm.
help out them, and then of course like same with your babies, like I watched them grow up,
Yeah,
and it's just like it's so it's crazy how that app connected so many people.
exactly. And like everybody that I'm friends with, like on Facebook, like 90% of them are all from Vine. We've kept in touch all this time. And it's crazy that some of these people you never met, but you have a connection with them, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And it's like some people will sit there and tell me like, man, you never get on Facebook. Man, I fucking hate it there. Like it's not my place. I don't like it there. I can't stand it. But everybody's like, but we can find you on IG. I was like, you fucking right, you can. Like,
Yeah. See, I was just talking to a friend about this last night. Like social media with men is very different than with women. Women, I love social media. I have my TikTok. Everything like pictures and stuff that I post through Insta, it automatically posts to my Facebook. Um,
Same.
so it's like I have, but I do have different people that I talk to on TikTok and then Facebook and then Instagram. They're very divided.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's Snapchat, which I really don't use anymore. I usually
Same.
just use it to take pictures. Like,
Yeah, I keep people informed if like I'm doing something, you
which,
know?
yeah, you are right because you do post a lot on there. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean like what's funny is like I if I'm doing something, I literally will put it on Snap. Like if I'm going
Hmm.
about the day, if like me and Xander are doing something or Brandy and I are doing something or we collectively are,
Hmm.
I take people on the journey. I don't really do it by myself.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Well, why not?" I mean, I have this now.
Hmm.
So, I it's kind of like I'm already telling you what's happening and what
Yeah.
happens in my life. But like like I'll do collective things or sometimes I'll spam the accounts or stuff like that. But it went from being your girlfriend's favorite viner to being so subtle and the only thing I do is this.
Hmm.
And I've been told like, you should bring like some of those characters and ideas to the show. Bitch, no. Like,
Hmm.
no, because if I did, I might get canceled anymore. Like, yeah, like, no. I was trying to tell Brandy when I was getting this all set up and going, I was like, man, on there, it was just free range to just do whatever. I mean,
Hmm.
not do literally whatever, but you had to think of something very important in 7 seconds.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Like you had to think about it.
Hmm.
And now I put more thought into like now I have like an hour podcast so I can like
Hmm.
get into it and I don't have to be like, oh shit, and do some stupid ass face or call on Randy the roommate to come bursting through the door. Like
Those
some
were good
nonsense.
times.
They were. He did some stupid shit. But like I don't know. Plus, like at the same time we grow up and
Yeah.
I'm not really on them no more. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
like, I'll see an Instagram reel and I'll be pissing myself. Like,
Yeah.
but now I'm like, man, I know where that came from. Like, I get a little sad about it because that's where it came from. But
Right.
it's it's just crazy, just the amount of friendships like we both have from a simple
Hmm.
app, which is wild.
Yeah.
The teams and all that shit, like that shit used to be nutty. Like
Yeah.
it got a little much.
I'm guilty of that. I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
I
like,
think I
I
think I
think
was
we
in a
both
couple
are.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I think we both are. But I was like, man, that shit got a little crazy there for a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, and then like, of course, like there's like inner cliques and drama, and I was like, man, what the? This ain't my shit no more.
Yeah.
And then, what's funny is remember when like it was gone, and then they tried like like a couple other ones to try to like reignite it, and I was like, no, that bitch is dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
it died at the perfect time. It,
It really
it
did.
was
Like it
sad.
was.
It was sad at the time, but it honestly, like now looking back, it was the perfect time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was like, don't be sitting there trying to like hype me up either. Like you was like intimidated by some guy. Like I was like, no, you know? But what's funny is like, remember when they would get all excited, like, oh, I got to so many followers or whatever?
Hmm.
And then like I think there was one time, I don't know if I honestly can't recall. It was like 8 or 9,000 people. It's like, why the fuck are 8 or 9,000 people following me? Like, why? What in the fuck am I doing? And then I'll
Yeah.
look at the analytics of this show and I'm like, where the fuck were those 9,000 people?
Where are you now?
Yeah, where are you now? Like, shit. And the crazy part about this is like seeing like the structure of YouTube. and going through analytics of like the audio versions, I'm like, there are people listening to me that should not be listening to me. And I
Mm.
don't mean like kids or whatever, but there's people in like Denmark, Germany, like, why? Like, why? You better have subtitles on. You should probably,
Right?
yeah, because I was like, I'm an ignorant motherfucker.
Because my mom lived in Germany, and my stepdad still lives there. So it's like I can never imagine my stepdad sitting and trying to watch your podcast from there.
Just be looking at you like, just, you know him? No, never seen that dude in my life.
Oh man.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. Like, it's more of the like the audio spectrum of it.
Hmm.
And it says like, first it said like China, the Ukraine, and I was like, man, they're just trying to get my information. That's all it is. It's like that's all they want. And then like as I started breaking it down, it was like South Africa and Uruguay and fucking. I was like, why? Like, okay. I was like, when they hack our account, I'll be like, that was one of them sons of bitches.
It was one of them. I know it
I
was.
can't recall who the fuck it was. You know what I mean? But again, thank you so much for being here. Like, um, so so it will.
So
I know it's hard to transition into something very personal.
totally. Yeah.
So I was like, because when I did the suicide awareness episode, it was even tough for me to do.
Mhm.
And what's funny is people watched that and they never even knew because I kept it very low key about it.
Mhm.
So with that happening to me, and we'll kind of transition into your situation.
Mhm.
Like, so I know you've lost your mom,
Mhm.
I know you lost your dad.
Correct. Yeah.
So how far apart was this?
So my mom passed away in September 2022, and then my dad was 8 months later,
Jesus
um,
Christ.
June 2023. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's stupid questions, but it's important questions because
Yeah, of
we're like,
course.
how, I mean, I can understand in a way. I mean, I've never experienced it yet. I can
Hmm.
understand losing a parent. You know, I get it. But to have it like literally in a way back to back, like what does that mentally do to somebody? Especially you being a single mom, like that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a mom of three, and that consumes a lot of my emotions and my life as it is, you know. Um, so I also have depression and anxiety, so I am on medication, and um, so when my mom passed, I was actually at work, and I was in a room with Kirsty, my best friend,
Okay.
and she was always like not letting us have our phones on the floor. We had our phones, they were in the pocket, and was it. We're here to work, not.
Right.
So my phone kept ringing. It was my aunt. She called me like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, oh my God, what does she want? She lives in Missouri. And then my uncle that lived in Missouri called me, and I was like, okay, like something's up. I answered the phone. He told me, your mom's gone. And I'm like, what? Like the shock set in. Um, I went back to the room where Kirsty was. She's like, what happened? What happened? And to be honest with you, I don't recall a lot of it because, in the moment you get caught up.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I was screaming. We're in a patient unit, but the room that we were in did not have a patient. Um, so the other nurse came and she closed the door, and Kirsty's like telling her, like, she just found out her mom passed away. I immediately, because this was so unexpected. She
Of
had
course.
a unexpected heart attack. Nobody knew it was coming. We didn't know what caused it. Um, so I called my stepdad. I called Sebi on video. And I'm like, I want to see my mom. And he's like, no, I'm not. And I said, just please let me see. I begged him. He panned down and she was on the floor because she was in bed when she had it. And then she kind of fell on the floor. So she was covered with a white blanket.
Right.
He's like, I'm not going to show you her, you know. So then the next difficult call I had to do was call my brother. Um, he was on his way home from work. Actually, he didn't answer my call, but Kirsty called him and he answered Kirsty's call. And she's like, are you driving? And he said, yeah. And she's like, you need to pull over. And he's like, no, just tell me. So I talked to him and I told him what happened. So he went home and he had to deal with, telling his boys and his daughter. And um, so kind of like skip back a little bit. So my
Sure.
mom passed away on the 2nd of September. On September 1st, we had to move out of the other place we were in.
Okay.
So, and I didn't have another place yet. So we were moving out into the wild.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah, my mom on the first, she, when, there was my uncle and a couple of close friends that were helping us move out. And my mom actually called a hotel and made us reservations. Because we were, in a hotel for 2 months before I got this place.
Right.
So losing my house, losing my mom the next day, and being in a hotel having, with all the kids, it was it was a really bad time.
Right. I can imagine
Um,
you're like an emotional like wreck.
yeah. And then, I had to go home. I left work early that day that I found out, and I
Of
went
course.
to the hotel, and the kids knew I was upset. Um, and I just had to tell them. Like I wasn't gonna hide it from them. I wasn't gonna wait till a later time. I'm very I'm very upfront and honest with my kids, and
As
I
you
let
should
them
be.
know. Yeah, and they're all very close to grandma, so hearing that, they and Zane was 5 at the time, and his little mind is like,
Yeah.
he was still grasping it, but yeah, it was bad.
Oh, I bet. Especially
Yeah,
like you were saying, like transitioning from like the day before, you're literally moving out of your house in the hotels or into the hotel, into the really the unknown.
yeah,
And you're like, man, what the fuck? Like, I gotta make sure the kids are okay and like I'm okay. Of course the kids come first, like I get that. But then, you get this bombshell literally the next day, and
hmm,
you're just like, what the fuck is happening? Like you're you feel like what else can the world do? The world's already punching down on you.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So like how was it to bounce back from that, even though like of course later, your father passes away.
So during this time also, we found out in 2021 that my dad had colon cancer. Um, so he did go through radiation and chemo, and he did get his PET scan back, and it was a clear bill, but he had an abscess that um, developed on his backside,
Okay.
and he was bedridden for, actually couch ridden for 4 months on a wound vac, and the cancer came back 100% fully.
Oh wow.
So he was deteriorating fast.
Wow.
Um, so after my mom died, everybody, my family in Missouri, they're like, why don't you move out here?
I do remember you mentioning
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Why don't you move out here? So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I thought about it. I was like, okay, I applied for a job, I got the job. Things started moving into motion. And then I applied Kirsty, what would I do without that woman?
Right.
Seriously.
Shout
She's
out
been my,
Kirsty. Let's give her some
right?
recognition, bro.
Yeah, she has been my road dog for the last 12
She's your
years.
A1 since day one, bro.
Yes. So she help me, look for places. This place came up. She's like, message them, I'm like, okay. So I did. Um, I didn't think I was gonna get approved for it. I really didn't. I was like, okay, I'll just do it. Um, the guy here messaged me quick and was like, put in your background check, credit, all that stuff. I did it. The next day he was like, we got you in. I was like, dude, what? So I went ahead and I ended up staying because, the kid's dad was, you know, not happy about the move. And he
Of
is
course.
active, the older kid's dad. He's very actively in the kid's life. He's a great dad. We didn't work together as a couple, but we work as the best co-parenting team. Uh, People always tell me, how do you do it? How do you, how do you, how are you such a great, you know, like co-parent match? We work great.
Right.
He's great. He is a great dad.
It's
Um,
amazing how that works when you start putting all the bullshit to the side.
yeah. So he tells me everything. I tell him everything. We're very close. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people understand that dynamic, but like when I'm at work, he comes here and he makes food for the kids at my house.
Right.
He has adopted Zane as his own because he's the only father that Zane has known.
Makes
So,
sense.
yeah, so even though biologically Zane isn't his, he treats him as if he is one of his own.
Right. But
Um,
I love that real quick
yeah,
because something I never thought would ever be able to be done would be me and Ashley to co-parent, let
yeah.
alone get along. And yeah, we have like our bumps in the roads, and yeah, we're still in the process of like figuring this out. It's only been like
Hmm.
about a year, but
Yeah.
you know, I I would do anything for her daughter, even though
Hmm.
she's not mine, and I look out for her well-being. But like we have our boundaries, like here and there, but
Hmm.
we talk to each other all the time, like,
Yeah.
and it's great because now it's like Xander's excelling in school. He was like dipping a little bit because like we were kind of at each other's throats, and she had some past shit going on, but that's the past. But
Hmm.
yeah, like to have it work, everybody looks at you
Hmm.
crazy like, how the fuck
It
did you get that to
really,
work?
yeah. And it's like I buy him stuff, he buys me stuff. Like,
Same.
I'm always thinking of other people before myself. So if I see something for like Wes or like the kid's dad, I get it. Something for the kids, I get it. Um, so it's so important to the kids to have that so that they don't always know what they have seen as us going at each other's throats, and now they
Yes.
see a complete different side. So that's super important because he's their dad. He's never going to go away.
Right, just like
Obviously,
she's their mom. She's his
yeah,
mom. That's not He's not
yeah.
going.
And I shared my life with him for, geez, this month it'll be 20. I met him in 2004, so
Yeah, about
21
like
years.
21 years.
So 21 years I've shared life with this guy.
Right.
Um, because Isaac's almost 20. He'll be 20 in
Jesus
November.
Christ.
Yeah.
Like I said, they
So
grow up so damn fast.
seriously. Um, so back to the story. So we didn't move to Missouri. We moved into this house. Um, he didn't want to get pulled from the kids yet, and I felt there was something that made me stay. And ultimately it was because I had to take care of my dad. So the last 6 months that my dad was alive, I was taking him to every appointment he had, every errand he had me do. I mean, this man would call me and tell me, "Hey, I need you to come over and help me with some stuff." And I'm like, "Okay." And I go over there and he would have me grab his snack bin to bring it close to him on the couch. Like,
Shut up.
go, go. Like, because he couldn't write really well because all of his nerves were just shot.
No, no, no. Yeah,
So
right.
he hands me like his envelope with like, "I'm sorry, Dad." I'm like laughing about like the grocery list. Like, gives me his card. I need this stuff at the store. Can you go get it? It's like fucking Fig Newtons, Oreos, bananas. What the
He sent your ass on a
fuck?
snack run for sure.
Dude, he's always been like that.
This
Another
fucking
thing that
guy.
was super wild is like my dad was the biggest online shopper you could ever know. So when I tell you that his wife had us over there at the house, like helping, you know, get some of his stuff out, and like go through it.
Right.
Tell me why this man ordered a goddamn leaf blower, a drone, and like no in the box, just sitting under the stairs.
Just there?
Yeah. And then he had like a Blackstone, and he was so passionate about his Blackstone grill. Like, oh, we're going to travel and we're going to get a motorhome, and that's going to be my kitchen. I'm going to do everything on it. And he never got to use it.
Ugh,
So his wife actually sold the Blackstone to Kirsty. I don't remember how much she paid for it, but those things are expensive.
yes, ma'am.
And I think Kirsty got it for like 100 or something with like probably $200 worth of supplies.
What?
So yeah, so she loves that grill, and it's
Oh, I
it's
bet.
cool.
Especially for what she
Yeah,
paid for it.
and it's cool because it's a part of
It's
my
yeah.
dad, still hanging around. Like, hey, fuck y'all, you guys are using my grill,
Right. You want to take my girl, you better cook on me.
right? So, but yeah, my dad, he deteriorated really quick. So I can't even say that after my mom died, I was right in the head because it's a big blur. I had a friendship with somebody else that went sour, and um, she jeopardized my relationship with Kirsty a little bit too because she was just out for blood. So the good thing is Kirsty and I saw our way through it, and
Yeah.
we're still very strong today. But there was a very toxic friendship that ended after all that too. Um, I lost some friends, and I'm just like, okay, there's only one person I need, and she knows who she is.
Right.
Um, so my dad was in and out of the hospital. Um, and then he I remember one time he called me, and I was supposed to pick him up for an appointment. And I got there and I said, because my dad, he hid a lot about how his condition was.
A lot of
Um,
guys do that.
yeah, my brother, Chris and I, we didn't know the extent of it. Um, and then one day I had to go pick him up for an appointment, and I texted him and I said, "Hey, I'm outside when you're ready." And then he texted me, "I need your help." And I was like, "Okay." So I went in the house and I found him upstairs on the floor naked. He couldn't move. He was trying to dress himself, and he
It
couldn't
just
move.
couldn't.
So
Wow.
I had to put he had no he had the he didn't have the colostomy bag at that time.
Okay.
So he was just constantly just having accidents. So I had to put a
Yeah.
diaper on him, his jeans, his socks, everything. And in my 42 years, that was probably one of the hardest things I had to do is see my dad in that condition, in that state. Um, I took him to the doctor that day, and he just had to get labs done, very simple and quick. We
Yeah.
waited there an hour, and it was so sad because I knew my dad. We had been sitting there for a while. I started to smell he was having an accident. Like, so I went up to the front and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, my dad is sick. Like, he can't be out of the house that long. We need to get in there. So she's like, hold on, hold on. She came back. She's like, okay, we'll take him in. We were in and out in 5 minutes, but we had to wait an hour to be seen. It was ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
So after that, yeah, he was like, starting in like May, he was in the hospital like 4 or 5 times. This abscess was just, it was eating his skin away. It was, the doctor pretty much described it as like his bones are getting eaten by this abscess that was so bad.
Wow.
So he was at the hospital I worked out out here. So it was cool. When I was at work, I was able to go in and see him. And then they he had the surgery and they put the colostomy bag and they say I had to make that decision. Um, I was there one night and he took a turn for the worse, and the doctor said the only thing that can save him some time is if I put a colostomy bag. I was like, okay, do it.
Yeah.
Like, I called his wife, I called my brother, I called my grandma. I said, this is the call I made. So it's going to save him a little bit of time. We'll see what happens.
Right.
But sadly, that didn't help. It just,
Prolonged.
it gave him a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Um, so they released him into hospice like it was a Wednesday. And that Friday, I was at work and his wife called me and they said, well, the hospice nurses don't think that he's going to make it through the weekend. So Kirsty's like, you got to go. So I went home, picked up my dad's car, drove to Apple Valley to get my grandma, brought her back, and then I was there with my brother and my grandma, and we were, talking to my dad and everything. His sister in Utah was actually scheduled to fly out on that Monday to see him.
Right.
And um, so Saturday night, my grandma stayed in a hotel Friday night. Saturday night, we went over to his house and we sat with him for a couple hours. And, you know, um, my brother and I kind of were telling him, like, it's, you're good. You're good
Yeah.
to go. It's getting hard for you and we don't want you to suffer. So then my grandma, I had to take her back. So she um, said her goodbyes. Again,
Yes.
we didn't know when it was going to happen, but we knew it was
Right.
going to happen soon. We just
Correct.
wanted my grandma to be able to get there and say and see him and say something. So that was Saturday night. I took my grandma home, came back Sunday morning at, oh, I want to say it was like 7. His wife called me and said he passed.
Ah,
Yeah. And I immediately went over there because I wanted to see him before, but they had just taken him. So I literally sat on the hospital bed that he was in the living room, and it was still warm. Like that
oh,
was,
wow.
yeah. And his dog, Dodger, jumped up on me in my lap and he was like, whimpering, like, because that was my dad's baby,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
For sure.
So I'm like, it's okay. Dad's gone.
Right.
Um, so yeah, 8 months later, lost dad. It's crazy because this is like my first time talking about this. Like,
On my show. Thanks.
yeah, yeah, on your show, not only on your show, but just
But
like
out in the world.
yeah, it's not something that I've um ever really shared. Like how everybody's like, oh my God, how did you do it? Like, I don't know how I did it. I really don't. Um, so and then my dad, he didn't want a funeral, so we got him cremated. We went to the mortuary, picked everything out, and all of us, my grandma came out again, my aunt was there, and we all just went out to his favorite barbecue place, and all the grandkids were there, his best friend. It was like maybe 14 of us. It was just very intimate. It felt good.
Right. Maybe
Um,
there's something that he would have wanted. Just
yeah.
something chill.
And I have to say, like, music has always been a very important part of my life. And it's funny because I was just talking to my kids about this earlier. My kids, they have very different tastes in music than
I'm sure.
but I never, I allow them to listen to whatever they want, whatever
Absolutely.
because my parents did that with us. They raised us, my mom's favorite band was the Rolling Stones, dad was the Doors. Um, so we were raised on good classic rock music. And music is my escape. When I'm at work, I have to have an AirPod in. It helps my depression and my anxiety so much.
I'm sure it does.
Um, and it when nobody else is there for you, music is, you know.
Absolutely. Hands down.
And Kirsty and her family are a great support system for me. Her husband is great. Her mom is the best. Her mom and her husband and Kirsty, they've all done amazing things for us and my kids. And I have to say that I've always wanted a sister, and my parents never gave me one, but somehow it took me 30 something years to find her, but I did. And God, I would take a bullet for her. I would do many things for her. Um, it sucks because she's my boss at work.
Right. So kind of like, yeah,
You know,
I got your back, but man, stop scheduling me this shit.
everybody's like, it must be great, like working for your best friend. And I'm like, no, it's not at
No, it's
all.
not.
It's not. It's the worst. Like, she holds me at a higher expectation than everybody else.
Right.
So,
You come in, you're
she
like,
has,
this bitch again. God damn.
and it's like we carpool and, it's like when we don't carpool, I go to her house and then we drive together, but not together.
Yeah.
But man, she, but you know what? She motivated me to do a lot better at work. And I feel like I'm thriving because of her. Like I don't know. It's very important to your mental health to have somebody that really, really is your soulmate and a friend or whatever. And it's very important. And she has helped me a lot.
That's
We
awesome. You
Yeah,
like
and
go
we have
ahead.
such an age gap. Like I'm 42 and she just turned, is it 33 or 34?
You
33?
better not get it wrong. What if she listens to this? She might be Jane on the spot.
Oh,
She
she's
might
going to. She's going to be like, how do
she's
you
gonna
not know?
she's gonna be on your ass.
But everybody's like, oh my God, like she's so like no, but let's be real here. She's the more mature one than me because I'm a big woman child.
But I second that. Like when you were talking about like losing friends, and I've said that too. Is like after like my stint, I found out like you don't need that big of a circle, and then
Exactly.
you end up finding out like who the real ones are, and you're like, damn, fuck, my circle's a period,
Yeah.
but it's
You go
cool
through
to
you
have
go
it.
through you go through some shit and you really find out quick.
Yeah,
Like
you find out who the fuck still got your back in these trenches, and then you have the other
100%.
ones that are stabbing a knife in the other side. And
Hmm.
you're like, man, fuck, I thought we was cool. Like, man, we've known each other like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
No, it's because like you would, I don't know, you would listen to all their problems, they would never listen to yours. Or you have
Hmm.
the money, so you bought the drinks. Or, there's many variables to it. But then you just have those people to be like, no, are you okay? Like, and then you like, just like yours, you see who is there,
Hmm.
and it sucks because you have to start going like, man, like you feel like, I wouldn't say guilty, but you feel like, in my case, I felt like I was stupid. Like, mom, man, I trusted that person, or like, man,
Hmm.
I was like, I gave them my time and my energy, and now I'm like, man, fuck them. Like that's how I feel now. Like and that's why like I'm glad and I'm fortunate that I have two best friends, a male and a
Hmm.
female. Like I'm glad that they were with me during like the worst of the worst. And now if something happens, I can just go to either one of them. And they're always going to have my back. They're going to tell me right, wrong, or indifferent. And I believe that's the best people to have in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
go ahead.
very, very important. It's very
It's
important.
it's huge because I'd rather surround myself with one real person than 30 fake people. Like
Hmm.
it's just easier that way. Like I can't do that shit no more. Especially the older you get, the more I realize I can't tolerate people. Like And again, this is coming from me, you
Hmm.
know, but I'm just like, no, I think it's like just wasted energy when I could be doing something else. Like I could be doing this show or I could be doing something around my house. I don't have time to go out and about because you want to go spend money at the bar or the club. Man, I'm in my
Hmm.
40s. I don't have time to do that shit. Once in a while is a
I
great
know.
thing, not all the time.
I think the last time we went out was my birthday dinner. We had a blast, and that was back in March. I
Were you
just
in your
can't do
Beetlejuice
it.
coat? I loved it.
Yes, yes, good shit. I
I
told
was
Kirsty,
like,
I'm like, I don't like the way this coat looks, and she's like, I was honestly expecting the worst when you walked out, and she's like, but you came out and you look so cute because it's totally out of my comfort zone.
oh my God, it's not black. That's why.
And I was like, okay, dude, I'm
I
not
was like,
sure,
this bitch in
but
stripes.
but
I was
I
like,
was set on what I wanted. I like looked it up and I was like, I want this and I want this and I made it work.
well, I mean, so I saw it and I was like, okay. And I wasn't taken back by like what you were wearing, but I was
Hmm.
taken back by what you were wearing. Like I was like, all right. And then I was like, what's Beetlejuice themed? Got it. All right. Okay. I was like,
Hmm.
all right. All right. And I was like, and my that's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, this bitch is way out of her comfort zone right now.
It
I was
was.
like, this is white and black stripes.
Yeah. It was
This ain't no
very
black.
out of
This
my
ain't no
comfort zone.
red. This ain't no. This ain't her scrubs. Like
Yeah.
I was like, because it's always like, I mean, every time I'm talking to you, you're always like, you're always working. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So to watch you at that like the whole Beetlejuice setup was hard. I loved it. Like
Yeah.
every bit of it was cool.
We
And
had a
then like,
blast.
did so did you have like a Beetlejuice themed birthday party or did you go to like a Beetlejuice bar?
No, it's called Beetle House. There's one in New York and there's one in LA. So I actually made the reservations 3 months before because they're so far out.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
So I set it up for seven of us, and then I told Kirsty, I said, wouldn't it be cool to get like a party bus? So we looked up like limos and party bus, and they were like 2 grand. And I was like, dude. So we found this other place that's local out here, and we ordered. It's called a Sprinter, and it's an 8-seater bus, and it's got like the big screen, and then it had surround sound, and we played
Yeah.
music going up, and we were able to drink, so it was very very cool. Well, all of us drank except Wes, because Wes is 2 years sober. So 3 years. Fuck, he's gonna get mad at me. 3 years.
How you not know this shit?
God. So yeah, so he went. It was still fun. He still had fun. But I was trashed. We were all trashed. It was good
You
times. I
looked it.
don't drink often, but when I
You
do, I'm
looked it.
lightweight.
You did.
Yeah.
In some photos, I was like, someone better delete them or she's gonna delete these.
And the videos, oh my
Oh
God.
my god.
I took a picture. I took a picture because me and Kirsty kept going to the bathroom together, and there was only like very little stalls like available. So we were going in the big one because only one of them had toilet paper. She's like, let's just go. So we went like 4 times. I took a picture of her peeing, and I'm like standing in front of her, and she's like, you better not post that. I don't. I woke up the next morning. I was like, oh, look at this picture. Cool.
Oh my god.
I sent it to her. She's like, oh my God.
She was like, I'm probably gonna fucking kill you. You're lucky. But like, so where you're at is in Simi Valley. How far is it from
Mhm.
LA?
Like I would say 30 minutes.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
with
crazy.
traffic, probably an hour and a half, but
Yeah, I was gonna say probably with traffic like 2 hours.
yeah, I took in February I took Isaac and Zane to the Tate McRae listening album party when her album dropped.
Yeah,
And it was at the Kia Forum. And with traffic, it took us like 3 hours to get there. It was gnarly.
that's wild.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we left like early because we got there at a pretty decent time and we were able to enjoy all the other stuff. But yeah, the traffic was crazy.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
That's insane. Like 3 hours, but it usually takes 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's because everybody's trying to get into LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, Hollywood takes you like the same, like 30 minutes on a good day, you know?
Listen to you. It's just common nomenclature. It's like Hollywood's like right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
it's
Everybody wants to
fine.
come to California, but it's so expensive. It's highly
I
overrated.
think it was, yeah, I think it was you. We were talking about like, I think it was a long time ago, but we were talking. I think that's how we started get to like really get to know each other. It's like I would ask you certain shit that I've heard like cost of living and shit like that.
Hmm.
And you're like, no, it's fucking ridiculous out here.
It really is.
Like, especially like when all that gas shit was going on, I instantly was thinking of you. I was like, this girl is probably going to be like, I'm walking.
Yeah, I wish I could. But now my commute to work is a half an hour. So, because I've been working at a new hospital for a year and 3 months now. So, Kirsty brought me there. So now we commute a little longer. It's like 30 minutes away.
So are
Yeah.
you like an RN?
No.
Okay. What are you?
Yeah. I am I'm one of the leads for the housekeeping department now.
Oh, I thought you was just
Yeah.
doing some crazy shit.
No. So we see it all. We really
I'm
do.
sure.
Yeah. So Kirsty is our manager. She's second and third shift manager. And then there's the other full-time lead. And then I'm like the relief. So when I'm not the relief, I'm up doing rooms. It's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
We get anywhere from um I would say 30 to 35 discharges a night. It gets crazy.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes that should be amped up where it's so funny where it's early, early, early morning there and I'm starting my day and you're like, hey, and I'm like, I'll have to sit there and go like, wait, what the fuck? And then I'll go, oh fuck, it's just Kimmy. Like, okay. I was like, this woman's probably done with her day. I'm starting my
Nope.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm just like,
Sometimes I haven't even gone to sleep yet.
yeah, that's possible too. That's possible. Like,
Yeah.
so with so kind of going back to a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So now how have you I mean, it's so cliche because nobody gets over losing their parents.
Right.
So well, I'm not even going to get into that because Brandy's lost her dad for about three. I believe she'll kill me. I think she said like 3 years. I might be wrong. Like we it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
So you never get over losing them. So how?
Hmm.
What drives you basically? Like besides, like I'd imagine it's the kids.
Yeah. I think my kids very much keep me grounded. Um, you know, when we were living in the hotel, I felt like a failure, I'm like,
I
I'm
get it.
living in a hotel with my three kids. Like, I remember crying multiple times, and Isaac, he's that kid. He's a lover and he's very sensitive. And he's like, Mom, you're not a failure, he's like, you're a great mom, you do everything for us. So hearing that is all I need. I did put myself in some therapy after my dad died because I was like, okay, I just got hit with a really bad double whammy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I did some therapy and that helped a lot. Um, and then, just having Kirsty and being able to see her every day, it's like I remember when my mom died, like it happened on a Friday. And every Friday after that for months, it was so hard for me to even get up to face the day because I was like, Friday. I automatically associated it with my mom dying. And I'm like, okay, it's been a week today, 2 weeks today, 3 weeks,
Right.
2 months today.
You're
It
just
was very,
recounting every Friday.
yeah. And she's like, you got this. Like, I can't stress enough how I probably would not be here had it not been for her and my kids.
I'm sorry. I just
100%.
realized your fucking cat in the window, and I was like, "What the fuck is
Oh,
happening?"
that's Chloe.
I was like, "There's something moving back there."
It's raining out here, so it's like she's like, "Oh, what's this?"
I'm sorry,
She's
Kimmy,
jumping back
continue.
and forth. Yeah. No, but yeah, then, like I said, another thing too, besides my meds and all that, music helps a lot too. Um, I've always been heavily into music, and my parents taught me that. So it's funny. I'll be like driving home and like one of my mom's favorite songs will come on and then one of my dad's and I'm like, "Okay, I see you guys."
Be like, I see what
Um,
y'all are doing.
yeah. And then I have my dad's cremated and I have him, and Chris has my mom's remains. So
That's cool.
it was important. Uh Sebi got all of her stuff out there, and got her cremated, and it was important him for her to be brought here to California, which was her home.
That's
So
awesome.
my brother has her, and then my dad's wife, she told me, she says, "I want you to have your dad's, remains," which I was not expecting. But I was happy because I'd love to have my dad. Um, so I have him, and I talk to him. The kids probably laugh at me, but I talk to
Eh,
him every day. Um, I talk to both my parents. I have dreams about them, and I know they're up in heaven fucking around with each other, like just
probably,
bullshitting.
yeah.
And she's yeah. Um, but I have to say that, like, definitely losing both parents, it reformed my, I don't know what the right words are here. It definitely made me stronger, and the things that I was going through um really like made me snap into reality. And when I work graveyard, I used to call out sick all the time at work. My boss that I have now was my boss back then, and God, he hated me. And now I'm like, I show up, I just put my head into my work. I'm
Right,
I'm there every day. The only time I've called out is if I'm no, I was in the ICU a few months back.
right.
Um, I had COVID. I mean,
How
I
dare
don't
you
call
have
out.
COVID?
I know. I don't call out just to call out. Like,
Yeah,
especially, when I know like we're shorthanded and stuff and we have people in and out all the time. We'll hire somebody, they'll train for 2 weeks and then they quit.
yeah.
It's
Your
not for me.
turnover is like a 2 week peace out Cub Scout. They're gone.
Yeah. So um I've learned a lot and I've grown a lot as a person. I've grown a lot as a mom. Um just I dove headfirst into all this and I'm like, how am I going to do this? And the only way I'm going to get out is if I find my way out. And
Your
so
only way out was to go in.
yeah. So it's been a tough road. I'm not going to say it hasn't.
Right.
Um but I'm very thankful where I am now. And um I want to say it's all up from here. I mean, I still stress about, you know, bills and finances and
Shit, we
stuff,
all
but
stress
that's
about that.
that's normal. I mean, it's like today I have to pay my rent and like three auto pay payments decided to come out. I'm like, great, awesome, super cool. Love that for me.
Right? And then if you try to get them back, you're like, oh no, I can't. Oh, okay, just fuck me
Yeah,
then. All right, fine.
seriously. Thank you.
Yeah, right. I mean, I believe
Yeah,
we always will always have that stress. That's just
yeah,
it.
totally.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like you know through like therapy, friendships, of course, like with your family, the kids. Sure. I mean, it's not still it's a long road,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. You just do the day in day out grind. You know, especially now if you're like more focused on work and
Hmm.
you like your head's into it. You're at this place now. You're not
Hmm.
living in a hotel. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And the kids are fine. You know what I mean? Things are coming around for you. Like it's it's probably what they would want it. Like especially if they look at you now, they'll be like, "Wow, like shit is really clicking for you." you know,
Hmm.
and they probably just want nothing but the best for you anyway. I mean, what parent wouldn't?
Right.
But I mean, but it's crazy. You almost moved to fucking Missouri. Like that was
I
just wild.
did. And ultimately, I would like to end up there. Kirsty and her husband are gonna move there at some point, and you know, my daughter's 15, Isaac's almost 20, Zane's almost 8. So I think, ultimately down the road, I would love to be out there. And if they decide to come with me, cool, you know.
Right. But
But
the cost of living is going to be hella cheaper.
oh, totally. My aunt lives out there. They have a great big house, you know. Um, Kirsty just went out there actually a few weeks ago and to visit her husband's family. And they stayed at this super cute Airbnb and like everything is way cheaper out there, housing, everything.
Yeah.
So,
I always thought you would eventually leave California, especially like
mhm,
when you were going through that. I think we were discussing that you had to leave.
yeah,
And then unfortunately, like you talked to me after your mom passed and whatnot.
right.
But like I always thought you were like, fuck this. Like this place is too goddamn expensive. Like
It
it's just
is.
ridiculous. So my question to you is the job you applied for in Missouri, is it something similar to what you're doing now?
Yeah, it was. It was actually like a entry level position. Like
Okay.
obviously now I'm, a little bit higher up, I would
You're
like to
you're
think.
hot shit over there.
Um,
That's what it is. That's I see how it is.
but but yeah, it was just, the same thing. And then, the pay is obviously less than what it would be here, because the cost of living is less out there.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
But I went through the phone interview and a Zoom interview and everything. Everybody was super nice and they were super shocked at all the experience I had. Like, so it was in the bag. And it was crazy because when I told my dad, I said, I got the job and he like was so happy, but now I just, I look back and I'm like, thank God I didn't leave
Yeah,
because
for sure.
although it would have been great for us, it I could not bear losing my mom and not being able to see her. She was here in July, 3 months before she passed away. She visited us very soon before she passed. Um, but I could not bear thinking about losing both parents without seeing them. Had I been in Missouri and my dad passed away, like I would never have been able to forgive myself. So I'm
Right,
really glad I stayed.
right. Well, it seems
Yeah.
like you made one hell of a choice because like look, like you have the place now. And
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
you're
we've been here 3 years. In October, it'll be 3 years.
it seems like things have just came to fruition. Like, honest to God, I hate to say it, like after unfortunately your parents pass away, like you're striving harder at work. You have the beautiful home for the kids. The kids are doing great. It's just like you seem to be doing better.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I mean?
actually I got a new car.
Right.
Um, that was something that I was trying to get my dad's car after he passed, but
Oh,
um,
your old car was bad news, Bears.
yeah, yeah, it was. I love my Durango, but man, that thing just it was such a gas guzzler,
Oh
and
my
I
God.
could not deal. It was like $150 to fill that up when
Are
gas
you
went up.
shitting me? Oh,
I was like, yeah, no, I can't. So I tried to get my dad's car, and his wife, she wanted set amount for it, and I tried to get loans, and I couldn't. So one day I went to a dealership they had been calling me, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're approved for this and this. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I went and I got approved by myself. I was so shocked. I was like, okay, cool. And at
that's
first
the
I was
best
like,
feeling in the world.
yeah, I'm like, am I going to be able to make these payments? And yeah, I've had it 2 years and my payments are always like 2 weeks before, you know?
So what are you
So
driving now?
it's a Ford Escape.
Oh,
And it was, yeah, because the Durango was the 3 rows. And it's like the older kids don't really go out with me as much as they used to. So I
right.
didn't need something super big.
They don't have fucking time for you no more. They're old now.
I know they're into their games. They're
Yeah, right.
gamers.
I was like,
Yeah.
Xander don't give a shit about me unless I'm going to take him somewhere to eat or take him somewhere entertaining, like the movies or something. Yeah,
Right?
No, as soon as we get in the house, he's gone. He doesn't want to talk to me, and then he like tries to use like the electronics to turn off all the lights in the house because he wants to be in the dark.
Oh,
But I'm like, dude,
I don't
you want to
blame
go
him.
here? No, no, I want to go here. Man,
That's
you're such a
that.
he's such a
So
teenager.
Zane will go with me places. Zane loves it. Bella, she'll go if it conveniences her.
Isaac ain't having it, bro.
She likes, she loves her Starbucks. Isaac, he's just, no, no,
No,
I'll
I'm
stay
alright.
here. I'm like, okay.
Like, you know what?
So,
Good.
sometimes he will go, when we had Easter at Kirsty's and Christmas at Kirsty's, he did go. He likes spending time with her and her family. And Kirsty loves spending time with him. So he did go for that. But and then, the kid's dad, he goes, um, why does he hang out with you and not want to go? Why doesn't he want to go anywhere with me, but he'll go with you? And I was like, I don't know. Um, but yeah, he's into his own things.
Yeah, I
So
mean, so is X. Like, he does his own thing, but then like
yeah.
he'll want to go to like places and stores and whatnot. But as soon as we come in the door, he's gone. He's
Hmm.
like, he's like, all right, this was great. I got my stuff. Bye. See ya. What do I got to
How old
do?
is he? How old is he now?
Xander will be 18.
Woo!
Yeah, in December. And I'm like, that brings me to the beginning. It's like, man, I remember when he was like 4 and
Hmm.
everybody saw him, 4 or 5 years old. And man, now he's a grown ass man.
Yep.
And everybody said that too. Like, especially old Vine people are like, it's crazy to see how fast Xander grew up. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, like literally blink and we missed it.
Mm.
Like, like I forget who I was talking to. It was I forget, somebody from Vine. I can't even put a pin on who it was. Was like, is he really 18? And I was like, he will be. Like, yeah, he will be 18.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
just
like
like,
how I felt when Isaac turned 18. I'm like, oh my God. And now
great.
he's almost 20. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God. You going to drink it with Isaac?
If he wants to go, I'd go. I'd take him. Be like, let's
Right?
go. Oh man, he would be so fun. I think for sure Kirsty and I will plan something for his 21st birthday. Because I just know Isaac would be a blast. I already
Oh,
know.
I mean,
Yeah.
sign me up to watch that shit. Because I'm for it. I'll be like, wait, we're everywhere. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and for some reason Snapchat. Oh fuck yeah! I know what today
Hell
is. I know what today is. Shit, that's fucking great. I love
yeah.
how Bella wants to go get Starbies.
Oh yeah, she's.
Is she like obsessed?
Oh yeah, she. Like I leave the house because they're all homeschooled, so they sleep until whatever time. So I
Yeah.
left the house today at like 11 to run some errands, and Bella was still sleeping. So like I, left. Then like 1 hour into my errands, she calls me, "Where are you?" And I'm like, picking up something. Oh, okay. Are you going to Starbucks? And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Is it all the time?
Yeah, yeah.
It's as bad as my niece. My niece Riley does that to my mom all the time. She's like, "You want to go to Starbucks before we start our day?" My mom's like,
Hmm.
"Bitch, if you're buying, like,
Yeah.
oh." So speaking of, since you're out there, my mom was just in Vegas,
Uh-huh.
and I mentioned on the podcast about this. She got like two Starbucks drinks, one for her, one for my niece, and that bitch was like $36.
What?
Yeah, I don't. So
No
I was gonna
way.
ask you, is it like the hotel? Because I doubt they're that expensive on the West Coast.
Yeah, no. It's my drink is always 6.95. Like it's I think when I
Yeah,
get me and Bella's, it's like 13. Like it's never a lot like
dude,
that.
it
I
was
would
like
never go if it was that much. You kidding?
it was stupid expensive, and my mom's telling me, and I was like, "Yo, I don't. I'm gonna have to get my fact checker on that because like there is no
I
fucking way."
I can see it being Vegas and them like,
Yeah.
charging more, but it's not like that here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I will let her know for sure, because I was like, Mom, I got a couple friends of mine that live in California, and I was like, I highly doubt it's 30 some
Yeah,
dollars.
no, no.
No, that's
Mm-mm.
insanity. But she was telling me like she would get stuff at the hotel, like water and like a soda or some shit like that. And she'd be like, it would be an atrocious amount of money.
Right.
And I'm like, Mom, I'd have bought my own shit and took it back to the hotel.
Yeah. And
Yes.
definitely when you go to Vegas, you have to like bring snacks and bring drinks. It's vital
Y-
because
Yeah.
they bump up the prices for everything there.
Yeah. They were rocking the fuck out of her there.
Yeah.
And then she's like, and then you believe I didn't win shit either? I was like, well, I mean, I get it. It's Vegas.
Yeah.
You know? And what is,
Hmm.
I think Vegas is like 2 hours from Cali,
It's like
or does it vary?
3, 4, I'd say,
Oh,
depending on
for
how fast you
real?
drive.
Oh, so you get there in like 2.5?
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah, it
sounds
was
about
like,
right.
yeah, I was like, you're a speed demon. I know about you.
Yeah, I really am.
I know. You
I
got a
don't
lead
fuck
foot.
around, dude. I get off at 11:30 and I'm like, bye. And I'm like at home by like 11:45, 11:50. Like my bed be waiting for me like that. That can't
Yeah,
wait.
but the thing is, hon, is you ain't ready for your bed.
I
You're
know.
not ready for your
I
bed.
know. I'm a procrastinator, dude. I
Like it's crazy. Like so, run that by me. So when did the insomniac like kind of start?
I've
Has it
always had it.
always been like that?
Yeah, because when I worked graveyard, I thought I would be cool because I was already a night owl. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
And then I would get out at 7 in the morning and then the kids were in school, so I would drop them off and everything. But I mean, I was pregnant with Zane during that time. I had him during that time, and then,
Yes.
toddler years. So I wasn't sleeping a lot, you know? And I worked the first shift and I work graveyard, but by far my favorite is the swing shift, which I work now. So we start at 2:30 and we work till 11:30 and I get home, I'm able to like sleep at normal night hours.
Are you
Um,
though?
so okay, for the record,
I put her on
for the
blast. God
record,
damn it.
Wes is like, okay, maybe you should talk to your doctor about getting you some like sleep medication because, I have the migraine issue that I deal with and I can't sleep. Like, so I talked to my doctor 2 weeks ago when he filled up my antidepressants, he gave me trazodone to help me sleep. So my thing is this, when I take it, I try to find like a I still don't really know when is a good time to take it because I feel like it acts fast for me. As to with him, it takes I think he told me it takes like a half an hour for it to kick in for him. But with me, I feel like it's instantly. So I take it and I'm like, I underestimate the power because I'm like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
and I'll be like texting and then all of a sudden I'll pass out and I'm done. I'm out.
What's funny
But
is I've seen that. I've literally seen it with you.
yeah, yeah,
Where all of a
I know.
sudden I'm like, that
You're
bitch
like, okay,
sleeping.
bye. Bye.
I, and then what's funny is like you'll text me back, be like, hey, my bad, fell asleep. You know, it's very low key
And
but
you're
chill.
not the only one. I assure you, you're not the
You're like,
only
I fell asleep, dude. And I'm like, no, it's cool. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Because like I know we've like, especially lately, when you're like, dude, I can't fucking sleep.
I
Like,
can't.
and I'm like, girl, well, why don't you try this? And I'm like, you're like, I can't. And then like I'm like,
I
well,
and then 2 weeks ago, Kirsty and I went to the dispensary and we stocked up on our gummies and stuff. And I like feel like if I take them on work nights, then I'm never gonna wake up. So, but now that I don't have school with Zane in the morning, I did take one last night and I was like pretty good. Like
oh,
I
girl, you
not,
were knocked.
but I still fell asleep at 4 a.m.
You were knocked. Like, so when we were like, so sidebar, when we were discussing like about today,
Uh-huh.
all of a sudden she's like, shit, I woke up, I got errands to run, and I was like, what the
It's
fuck?
like it's shit. And then you text me when I was driving, and I was like, oh shit, oh shit. I was like, he's probably gonna tell me he's ready. I don't even have any makeup on. What am I gonna do? And then you're like, oh, I need to push it back. And I was like, oh, perfect. Like, you still want to do it today? You want to do it in 2 weeks?
Yeah, right. And I was like, no, I want this done today
Because
because
what? It's
like
like 10:30 out there right now, right?
it's right now it's almost like 20 to 11.
Oh, you're
See,
past
but
your bedtime, boy.
oh, it's way past my bedtime. But see, I make time for my guests. That's what it
I
is.
know. Usually you're out between 9 and 9:30.
I know, and I'll text you be like, I'm going to sleep,
I'm
and
go.
you're like,
Yeah.
all right, have a great night or whatever. And then like as I'm waking up, you're like, morning. I'm like, God damn. I was like, how the fuck? How you know I'll be up? Like, or I'll text you and I'll be like, morning. You'll be like, night.
I know. Bye.
This should be so funny too. Morning, night.
I will never, and that's always how it's been with us. I can never get used to the time change. But then you work like so early, so
Yeah.
you're like, dude, I can't keep up.
Yeah. So on my non-Xander weeks, I wake up at like 6 in the morning, roughly, and then I'll head in because I have to be at work by 7 a.m. When Xander has school, I get up at like 5:30, and then
Hmm.
like get him ready to go by like quarter to 6,
Hmm.
and then we're off. So you saying you don't get sleep, and I'm like, bro, I haven't slept well in years, like years, and with my job, I can't have anything to make me sleep better.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Copy.
when I heard somebody's taking a gummy, I was like, bitch, gonna be knocked out. I was like,
It's
mm-hmm.
so funny because when I take them, everybody knows because I get chatty, then I get the munchies, and then I'm like laughing at everything. Like Bella knows my kids are bad. You want to know how bad my kids are? They know when I'm on my gummy because they come in be trying to ask me for money or V-Bucks or whatever.
They hit her with the V-Bucks like, hey,
Hey
new
mom,
skins
hey
dropped
mom,
on Fortnite.
or Bella, hey mom, I want a Shein order. I'm like, girl, get the fuck out of here. You
I
know
can't wait.
my son yesterday, he texted me, Isaac, he's like, hey mom, can I have $20 because it's Pride Month?
Just because it's Pride Month?
I'm like, what?
I'd have been
What
like,
are you
wait, is
doing?
there a Fortnite skin I don't know about that's
Yeah,
$20 because
but
it's Pride
they
Month?
but they know. And so then, Bella's funny because she'll come in and she's got a bunch of TikToks like that we like saved on her phone. So she'll know like when I'm high, she'll come in and she'll play the, the videos for me. And I'm like cracking up, like almost pissing my pants. Like
And
that
meanwhile,
that is the
Bella's
kind of
like,
thing that keeps me going, like all
yeah,
that shit. Like the little stupid inside jokes that I have with my kids and stuff, like they're
but that's the
just
thing. That's what drives you. You know what I mean? That's what
yeah,
keeps you going.
totally.
And that's what motivates you. So, in a way, like before anybody gets it twisted, like if you heard her, it's like it's once in a while. Don't anybody take anything out of context. I've known
Oh no.
people that do it, whatever, it's fine. But like, I don't want to hear no shit because like we have kids. There's times I've took them when I don't have Xanax, just so I could try to sleep. I literally have a vape pen. So
Hmm.
when worst case scenario, because like I told Brandy, my job is very physically demanding.
Hmm.
So
So is mine.
sometimes, yeah, so sometimes my fucking body is ridiculously hurt. And it gets to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna hit the weed vape pen, and she'll be like, well, when's the next time you have a drug test? And I'm like, I don't have one for a grip. She's like, well, all right, like whatever. And now she has fucking gummies on me and I think it was like something with my rotator cuff. And she was like, you
Hmm.
want one of these? And I was like, nah, I'm all right. Because like,
Hmm.
but like, it's okay to indulge if you still know what the fuck you're doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? As long as you're not taking like fucking 50 milligrams and being
Oh
all,
no. I did my dabbling of pills back in the day. I'm good with that.
hey, look,
Um,
oh, me too.
yeah, so
Yeah. You
I'm
know what I
I'm
mean?
good. I know my limits, and even drinking. I'm I rarely do it.
I
Um,
was judging off your birthday. I was gonna text you, but like, you don't really drink anymore, do you?
no, I don't.
No, I was just telling. Like, it looked like you were having not not being rude, like too much fun too quick. It was looking like that shit was catching up to you fast.
It was because the two big huge we got two big huge fishbowl drinks and Kirsty and I shared it. And then I think we had a shot of something and then a couple of drinks apiece or something like that.
If it was Fireball, you're gross.
Ew, no. I think it was
Yes.
Patron that we took shots of.
See, this is why
Kirsty
I
will
love you.
Yeah, Kirsty will have
That's more
to
my speed.
yeah, I think it was Patron because yeah, we I don't Fireball I can't do whiskey at all. I know you're probably gonna
Yeah,
hate on me, but I
that's fine
can't.
because I do whiskey.
Yeah. So does Kirsty and her husband. They love old fashions. So yeah,
Like, I love a good
that's
Jameson. I love a good Jameson orange, but not a lot of people can fuck with me on Patron like they used to.
oh, okay.
And I haven't did
Yeah.
it in so long.
Yeah. Patron is good. I like Patron. My usual like choice of drink is Malibu and pineapple. That's like my favorite. And
Oh my
then
god, that was like the drink of fucking my entire 20s here.
yeah, and then a good margarita is always in the bag.
Well, you know what they say about give you one margarita, right?
Oh God.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm just saying, people. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Yeah, see, you would find it surprisingly cheap over here. Like,
yeah.
it's especially like because I've heard stories about like how fast food chains over there are stupid expensive.
Yeah, they are.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got a buddy who lives not in LA, but roughly around that area. And he's like, no, it should be stupid expensive.
Hmm.
Like, and he was like, don't you fucking DoorDash shit.
Oh no.
I was like, nah,
No.
I'm good. I don't like
They get
DoorDash
you
in
with all
here.
those fees. It's
Oh, they do the
wild.
shit here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
mm-mm, no, no, thank you, man. Like, So I can only imagine, like, because I'll get tripped up over something over here in Pittsburgh. I was like, I can only imagine how it is in Cali.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's bad. Highway robbery.
Right? So,
Yeah.
speaking of over here, I guess I'm going to have to, for real, like, start finding you snapbacks while I'm here.
Yes. So I couldn't bring the other ones with me when I moved out of my dad's. So
Did you lose my hats?
no, my dad, this
Oh,
is terrible. My dad, when we moved out into my other place, so that was in 2017 before Zane was born, my dad had a bed bug infestation.
uh, uh,
So literally, I was packing my stuff, and it was everything was covered because of his dogs, his one dog. So I like left a lot of stuff and threw a lot of stuff out. And they were like nestled in the hats and like around the wrist. So I had to, I
around the
didn't want to
brims.
take the chance. Yeah, I didn't want to take the chance.
Oh my God.
But I love those goddamn hats.
I
You know
know.
me. You know me. I love my hats. I love my
I
hats. I love
know.
my beanies.
I know. And then I was like, that's why I was like, dude, did you lose the Pirates hats I sent you?
And I know that you mentioned that you do want one from Kelly. So I do need to get you one and I will be better about that.
I know. And then what I'll do is I'll start looking for what's it? You're more of a snapback gal anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if I see one, I'll just start grabbing a couple and then be like, yeah, let's send that to Kim. Man, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's do that. But I'll make sure I send it to you and not you get books and all kind of fucking nonsense that happened the last time I sent you it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, remember I sent you like hats.
Hmm.
And for some reason there was like I remember I texted you, I said, did those hats come? And you were like, yeah, but there's a problem. And I was like, what's wrong?
I
And it
have
was
the
like
worst memory.
I sent you like I liked it because I was like I didn't know if you was into like Doctor Who at the time, but the Under the Brim was hard. Like it was dope because it was like the galaxy underneath of it. And I was like, man, I think she'll like that. And I was like, if not, I know she'll find an outfit that goes with it, even if she don't watch this shit. And then I
Yes.
was like, and then I think there was like a pirate or two pirate hats in there. And I think the
There
two
was one.
pirate
And then the
one,
Batman one.
yeah. And then they were like, there was books or shit in them. And I
Uh-huh.
was like, what? I didn't send books. And you were like, yes, there's fucking books in here, Paul. And you like took a picture. And I was like, I didn't send that.
I don't
Like,
remember that.
yeah, they were like mushed
You
in there.
did send a hoodie too.
Yes.
You sent one of your hoodies. I remember that.
Yep. Yeah. And I was like, what the fucking, what? Who sent books?
Why do I
Like,
not remember that? This is so
dude,
bad.
it's the worst part because I remember I told Ashley, I said, I sent Kim that stuff. And she was like, well, yeah, that was like a week or so ago. I said, no, she just got it. And she was like, there's no fucking way. I was like, look. And I was showing her the pictures. Like, and she was like, we didn't send books. And I'm like, cool. I didn't think we did, you know? So, lesson learned. I will never trust the Sharpsburg fucking mailing system, and I will never go there
I
ever
was gonna
again.
say, I wish I remembered, but I don't. Oh my
Oh
gosh,
my
it's
God.
terrible.
But I was like, from now
At
on,
least I documented it to you and sent it to you, so you know.
right. But like, you kind of have a good remnants of what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I'm like, if I ever send you anything ever again, I will send it to you directly. Like I will.
Yeah.
I'll be like, where you putting that? You putting that right there? You putting anything near it? No. What are those? Are those
No
books?
books. No books.
I'll be like, are those fucking books? Because I'll punch you in your fucking throat if those are fucking books. Yeah, for sure. Or if I just see a deal, I'll just buy them, get your address, and send them to you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and then that's how we'll do it. And then we'll just exchange it that way.
So if you want an LA hat, like what color do you want? Do you want blue?
Now you're just getting crazy.
What? Because I know you
Because
like blue.
I do love blue. I do love red. I mean, I rock any color.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
duh.
I was like,
I was trying to explain that to my kids. I'm like, Paul like matches his hoodies and to his hats and everything from the hat down is all color coordinated.
yes, from top to bottom.
Yeah,
It's never changed. But I don't know. Like no black hats. I have entirely way too many.
no
Like
black hats. Copy.
way too many. Like we just went to this food truck thing and you signed up for it was crazy as fuck. You signed up for a newspaper and you got snapbacks. I was like, okay. Like I didn't even think
Hell
twice.
yeah,
I
let's
was
do
like,
it.
okay. So I look, it was so funny. So I grabbed two and there was two other ones I liked. I looked at Brandy and I was like, you should sign up for a newspaper. She was like, what? I was like, yeah, you should sign up for a newspaper. She was like, what other ones you want? I was like, I want that one and you pick another one. She's like, okay. So she came back. She's like, because she didn't know if they would send them to her because she's like an hour away from Pittsburgh. And
Uh-huh.
then she's like, I got them. I was like, they're suckers. I was like, seriously. I was like, you know, these snapbacks are seriously like $30 a piece, and we just spent seriously $20
Yeah, and got a
for
bunch.
and got them. And she's like, I know, dumbasses. I was like, yeah. I was like, hey, fuck it, whatever. But like my snapbacks now, like if I can't fit them, Xander wears them.
Oh, okay.
So it's like now it's like universally used. But yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. If I see something, I got you. Me,
Yeah,
it don't
cool.
matter. It don't matter the color, just not black.
Okay,
I was like,
gotcha.
now if you ask me teams, now we're getting just crazy. I don't care.
Hmm.
I don't care what they
Yeah,
are. Like, you know what I
okay.
mean? Like I mean, I still like the California Republic hat I got.
Oh
I
yeah.
barely wear that because it's got some years out of that shit. I was like, yeah, because I remember the one time I've worn it and you were like, where the fuck did you get that hat? And I was like, I don't know why you like it. And you were like, yeah. And I was like, well, you know, I don't know. I'd be fine and shit like all the time. And then like I just showed Brandy the hat collection. She was like, some of these I've never even seen. I was like, and you never will until the whole outfit fucking goes with it. I'd be like,
Right? The outfit
bring it
has to
up.
coordinate. It's
I'm
important.
telling you, Ludacris was not fucking around. He was like, time and my clothes got to coordinate.
And that's like your trademark, you
It
know?
really is.
Just like mine.
Absolutely.
Everybody I like come in contact with, like when I was on like the dating sites years ago and stuff, like dudes would say that I have a very unique style, and I've just always stuck by that.
I
Like,
I believe that. Like you really do.
yeah, like I'm a hat or a beanie, uh, black shirts, like you don't, it's rare that you see me in any kind of color,
It's rare to see your ass in color.
Yeah. So I've just, oh, my cats are fighting. Awesome.
Yes, let's
Um,
go. Here we go. See, this is what happens in
um,
California. Better than live PD.
so, and it's like, it's some people's cup of tea and some not. And I don't really care because I've never changed my style. I'm not going to change it for anybody.
100.
Um, and another thing that my kids are awesome and they always tell me is I don't look my age. So they keep me young.
No, no, I don't think you did. I don't think you ever did.
That's
No,
good. I
because
mean, my mom blessed me with some very great skin because it's very hard for me to like have a breakout or something. So that's super awesome.
right.
Um,
I think I remember one time I FaceTimed you and I was like, said something to you. Do you ever age? And you were like, boy, bye. I was like, no, I mean like legit. Like, w- I swear to God, like you're not. I am, and I was like, no, you're not.
yeah, and people at work are like, "How old are you?" And I'm like 42, and they're like, "Huh?" Because they hear me talk about my kids. Like my oldest is almost
Yeah,
20,
I mean, yeah,
and
that
they're
puts
like,
it in
"What?
like perspective.
How old were you when you had him?" I was like 21. Like,
I,
so
my bad. Sorry.
yeah, it's I don't know. I don't take compliments very well either, so that's another thing.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
one thing about my style is that it will never change. Um, I've just conformed it to fit me, the last
Yeah,
few years. So
yeah, you shouldn't have to, and plus, you shouldn't have to change for anybody, really.
yeah, and I don't
You know what I
intend
mean?
to.
Like that's how I am now. Like if I did this when I was fucking 22, I'm gonna do it as when I'm 42.
Yeah.
This is just who I am. Like take it or leave it. Like who else could sit there and be like, oh, I have an it shirt on. I'm gonna fucking find a red hat and blue fucking
I
sashes to
saw
go with it.
that. That's so cool.
Right? I figured it was appropriate because I'm like the scream queen anyway.
Right?
So and I was like, I don't own any Michael Myers shirts, so sorry. Don't yell at me. My bad. I
Well, maybe I
mean,
need to get you one of those too.
there you go. I was like, that works out. That checks out. But yeah, any any color. I got you. I was
Okay.
like, it works. It's easy. I'm an easygoing person. Plus, it's a thought that counts. It's always have. So, I mean, I stayed up for you.
I know this has been awesome. It's like West Coast, East Coast unite. Like
I
it's
know, right? I
super
haven't did one
cool.
of these West Coast, East Coast in a long time. And then like
Yes.
my buddy ended up leaving us or whatever. And then like me and Eric are sitting there looking at his fucking cupboards, like doing this old house with it. We really were. We were sitting there like, oh, that's great architectural work right there. Like all of a sudden we had like the whitest of white voices. It was like,
Oh
oh,
my
this is great
God.
fitting. Look at this. Oh, this is wonderful. And then
No.
like I was telling you, like, it doesn't matter if like the kids ever come in because
Hmm.
Xander comes pummeling in, does his little things here and there. And then when we were talking to him, his kids came in, so we don't mind it.
Oh yeah, I
You know,
told my kids because the bathroom's my room. I'm like, if you guys need to go, like it's fine.
like, hurry up.
Yeah,
Get it done.
let's go.
Mama's
Let's
shooting a
go.
podcast. We ain't got
No,
time.
it's just the cats that want to be famous.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Well, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna go.
Yes, you got to get to bed, sir.
Yes, but again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for
Yes.
making time to do this.
I
And
want to do it
I,
again sometime.
yes, you're absolutely more than welcome to be back on this show anytime.
Yes.
any place, even if I have to stay up super late. I was like,
Well, maybe we can do one on a weekend too, like because I'm off every other weekend. So if that works better.
yeah, I mean that's perfectly fine because I shoot the podcast, and then like I could always do these little ones like what we're doing today, like tonight, like
Yeah.
absolutely. So again, uh, thank you, Kim, for being here. Of course, I'm the Big Show, and we will see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Bye.